Yo guys, welcome back to another Dokkan Battle video. This time it's going to be a bit different because I'm just going to be talking about the heroes characters, or like not the heroes characters, the hero celebration rather, and how I feel like it could have been made better. Right, so if we look at the details for the already existing celebration, the login bonus, missions, the summon, the event, the purchasable stone to get heroes characters, story event, the Extreme Z battle, the Easy banner, the Extreme Z area, the red zone, and all the relevant heroes events have returned, right? So overall, a pretty strong celebration, and a lot of the characters that were released or easy aid are definitely pretty decent, right? But I feel like there's a lot of stuff missing from the celebration. I feel like they definitely could have brought back the time patrol event or fight for time, whatever it is. Basically, for those who don't know, it was essentially just a stage of Infinite Dragon Ball history that was relevant to heroes characters where you fight like the time patrol. It was pretty cool actually. It wasn't too hard because stages like that haven't really been tough since like the legendary Goku event came out, and even then, you could cheese it with stacking characters. So yeah, it's not like it was a hard event, but that extra bit of content for players who hadn't done it before or didn't get the chance to do it would have been nice. Especially since I have a very strong feeling we will not be seeing this Red Zone event come back. I have a feeling that next year we're not going to be able to play this event again. So if you haven't done it, you better do it. Because there is no daily limit as far as I know. Actually, let me go check, right? I don't think there's a daily limit to these Red Zone stages. And I feel like it's for that specific reason. Because this is an event that's going to go away and probably never come back, right? So, yeah. Yeah, no daily limit or anything, right? So, yeah, I have a very strong feeling that this stage is not going to be coming back. So, do it, whatever you got to do, right? And another thing I feel like this stage was missing, or event, or bleh, celebration was missing. Limit Breaker Vegito. I'm sorry, but like this heroes team needs an LR. And the super class variation of this team especially needs that LR. I'm not even kidding. The Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 14 like borders on unrunnable because of how like unimpressive the SS4s are. Like Bardock sucks. I'm sorry, he's just bad. Broly and Vegito have aged out. They were pretty good when they came out, but they're like 2 years old, and we've hit the god level power creep since then. So they're even more outclassed, right? So I don't really hold it against them because they will be easy Yang next year. And so I don't really hold it against them too much. But when I was when I was doing the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 showcase video, or not show, the full Super Saiyan 4 team showcase, I couldn't help but notice how impossibly hard it was to build up the Goku and Vegeta characters, which is so bizarre to me because these are characters that should have realistically been stronger, either by giving them actual like modern stats or by giving them some unique part of their kit. Because I don't know how many of you know this, but the Android 1920 Banner unit, that unit has incredibly low stats. But you wouldn't notice because their kit is so strong, you'd bring them wherever you could. Right? So I feel like they could have gotten away with making their stats so low if they actually were good. Like I feel like Goku needs 30% damage reduction baseline, and then that extra 30% damage reduction that he already has in his passive. Like you could leave their passives almost exactly the same, but just unconditionally give them something else that makes them defensively capable, because they can carry their team for damage. Like Vegeta can triple super, and each super gives him a one turn attack and defensive buff. Like these characters can carry their team for damage. And even if they themselves can't, which Great Saiyaman 3's easy is Probably like one of the best burst damaging characters in the game because his defense is high enough to where most like pretty much normal like any boss is not gonna hurt him that much, if at all. Especially after he supers. So, and he can definitely carry the team for damage. Another thing that I feel like is worth pointing out, the Hearts. I don't know. I feel like Hearts is probably better than the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4s, but not by much. Right? He also has a few glaring issues, but I feel like the rest of his team can help try and cover up for them better. Like, hold on. So we got the Awakening for Robelu, right? She's got a high dodge chance. So does Fu's Easy A, right? All these other characters who kind of like make up for the team's weaknesses. Modified Janemba, I'm not too crazy on him, but like he can definitely work fine. And hold on, where is he? Okay, first of all, this Demon Goddess Toa is going to Easy A next year, and she's a support unit who has that like healing effect when your HP is low. So, her Easy A is gonna be gross. The Deborah is an interesting case because he feels way more Super Battle Road like with his passive. So, I don't know. The units, funny enough, I feel like yeah, the main headliner units are probably the weakest characters to release in Celebration besides like Lags. And to be fair, I feel like she should have been better. Like, no, her passive sucks. It's probably she's like the Raditz of free to play characters. I'm not kidding. She's got like hold on, she's got like 0 teams that like need the help. Right? She's got 0 like good teams to be run on. Her link set is kind of bad. At least, in the context of running her. I mean, you could put her on Ginyu's team, she'll have loyalty. I don't know. Again, this is another character that should have been made better. Yeah. I do actually like that some of the heroes' characters are in the coin shop, though. That basically does tell me that these current, like, the characters that are currently Easy Aid are going to also be in the coin shop. Right? Because these were all characters that Easy Aid last year, plus, Elder Kai. So, if you don't have any of these current Easy Aid characters, rainbowed, just wait till next year. They'll be in the coin shop and you can just buy them, probably. Right? Although I wouldn't recommend summoning on blue coin banners often, but, I actually couldn't hold it against you if you put stones into this banner. I only summoned on it with this account because this is kind of dedicated to the Heroes crossover. Like, I'm not really going to use stones on any other banner on this account. So, I don't really feel, distraught going like 1,600 stones deep on these banners when this is the whole reason I even have this account. So, yeah. But, okay, now this part of the video is where I talk about what next year will look like for the Heroes collab. Now, obviously, for the headliner, nobody knows. Nobody knows. Like, there's no way to predict. If you asked me what I thought next year's Heroes celebration would have been like last year, I would have told you probably like Gogeta Evolution Blue Gogeta, and what is it like Full Power Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black, that weird Rose Goku Black, or maybe the remade Zamasu or something. I don't know. I wouldn't have expected Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 plus Hearts. Right. So, instead, I'm just going to talk about what next year's like Easy A's are going to look like. I already pointed out that Int Toa and AGL Deborah are probably gonna Easy A. Vegito and Broly are also going to Easy A. Hold on, let me filter to make it a bit easier. Ah. Right. So, hold on. This guy could Easy A too. He'd be pretty interesting Easy A, huh? Actually, wait, no, that's his SSR. Okay. Hmm. I mean, he'd be okay in Super Battle Road, and he's on a few teams, right? So he looks like he's gonna be a Super Battle Road character, which isn't horrible, right? Dark Mask King, Dark Mask Saiyan too. They're gonna easy A Broly. Where's Vegito? Right. As far as funny enough, I feel wait, is this Demigod gonna easy A too? Probably. I mean, I'm looking at this like a lineup of characters that came out at this point, and I feel like yet again next year, the Extreme Class Heroes team is gonna be way better than the Super Class one already. Because Reconstructed Janemba and Golden Metal Cooler are gonna get their TURs next year too. So Extreme Class Heroes is already eating, and they haven't even gotten another update yet. It's like, what could Super Class Heroes be? They could legit not release a new Extreme Class character next year, and Hearts still be the only Extreme Class Heroes leader, and that team would still probably be better. That's the worst part. Like, ugh. Now I'm not really gonna make a prediction about who it could be, because as much as I'd love to say, oh, Limit Breaker Vegito finally, no, I don't see it happening. They're not gonna do Limit Breaker celebrations back to back, especially since if they would have done that, like added Limit Breaker Vegito, he'd already be in the game, and probably as an LR, right? So as for who it might actually wind up being, um, hmm. See, that's the thing about heroes is any weird like bullshit that you could think like a transformation for a character, it's in heroes. Now, I want to say like Kaioken Blue Vegito and like Evolution Blue Gogeta. I want to say that would be next year, because that would just be so hype. They'd actually be pretty strong, I'd hope, and they'd link really well together. So again, I wouldn't make these two characters who would link really well together like headliners. I don't. You'd never be able to predict what they have in their passives. Maybe like Vegito has normal attack counters or something. Could you imagine if Vegito had normal and super attack counters? And to be honest, he wouldn't even be that overpowered. He's just one character who doesn't really take too much damage. And again, I'm operating on the assumption that he's gonna have like damage reduction against normals. For all I know, he won't, and you'll just have to tank normals through raw defense, and that's just not ideal because the team has very low HP values, no matter which side of it you're using, super or extreme class, right? So I feel like you could give these characters legitimately overpowered kits, and it wouldn't really matter because their stats are so low. So why the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4s are kind of ass is beyond me. Hearts is kind of underwhelming too, but he's got a team that can kind of cover up for his weaknesses, so I mean, not really against Broly because most of them kind of rely on dodging. If Hearts had guard post transformation, oh, he'd actually be busted, and in like the good way though. Like he wouldn't be overpowered, but he'd be good enough. So yeah, hopefully at one point we get a Heroes LR. Although, thinking on it, maybe the reason that we haven't is because that would require two super attack animations. And the thing with these heroes characters is their animations are based on their attacks in game. So that would mean they'd have to pull animations from two Limit Breaker Vegito cards for the sake of like an LR Limit Breaker Vegito. Which I'm not saying that there aren't two. I don't know. I don't really play heroes that much. Or I don't really keep up with what characters are released in Heroes. So for all I know, there's only like one Limit Breaker Vegito card. There could be five. I have no clue. But maybe that's the reason. Is because that's taking two different like cards from this character and then using their super tech animations. And technically there'd have to be like three Limit Breaker Vegetos at least, because every like card art from Heroes in Dokkan is based off of a Heroes card art. So you'd have to come up with three Limit Breaker Vegito artworks from Heroes. And I feel like Limit Breaker Vegito would be such a hype thing that that definitely print a lot of them. So maybe, I don't know. I feel like again they could have just reprinted a couple of the old events. Make sure to do the Heroes Red Zone because it's not coming back probably. Uh, and hopefully next year's Heroes characters will be good because yeah. Free to play characters are gonna be dead next year for Heroes because the only one who has an Easy 8 is Lags, and because she came out this year. So as far as like free to play Easy A's, that's not really gonna happen. I feel. So yeah. All right. Well, that's the end of the video. So if you feel like you know you want to join in on a discussion on what heroes could look like next year, leave a comment down below and like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.